Mortals of Earth. Something is shifting, not just in the skies, but in who controls the stories of what the skies show us. You already heard about the old glass plate photographs of stars taken before the space age, showing lights and formations that don't fit into our cataloged reality. What's now becoming eerily clear is how tightly the suppression of information is tied to one of our most trusted institutions, Harvard University. Let's follow the thread. The archival records show that Harvard, an institution that sits at the apex of academic authority in the United States, accepted nearly $9 million from Jeffrey Epstein between the late 1990s and 2007, even though by then, his reputation and legal issues were known. The university's own review confirms these donations and notes that Epstein had traveling privileges and campus offices long after his conviction. He was made a visiting fellow in their psychology department in 2005, and he retained campus access into the 2010s. Now ask yourself, why is that relevant when we're talking about old star photographs and suppressed data? Because this is how power systems work. Epstein wasn't just shopping for social prestige. He was courting top scientists, offering access, funds, high-profile gatherings, and the chance to become part of the inner circle of elite academia. Reports show that he invited world-famous physicists and mathematicians to his private island, to dinners, to conferences where access and reputation were currency. If your goal is to maintain control over breakthroughs, over hidden technologies, over the knowledge of non-human intelligence or energy systems that threaten the status quo, what better place to embed yourself than one of the world's most respected universities? You gain legitimacy. You gain gatekeeping power. You become the steward of what counts as real science. So here's what's happening. You have archivals of pre-space age high-resolution star photos that show anomalies. You have an institution that hosted one of the most controversial figures in modern scientific funding, a figure who had offices, privileges, and direct access. You have evidence that suggests old data was destroyed or shelved during modernization projects at that institution. And you have scholars who accepted funding from that figure or who were influenced by the system he seeded. This doesn't mean every scientist at Harvard is part of a conspiracy, or that every photo was erased intentionally to hide alien craft. But it does mean the architecture of silence is real. The doorways of research, funding, peer access, publication approval, these were all channels that could be steered, delayed, deflected. When you combine those pieces, suppressed photographic archives, elite academic gatekeeping, mysterious funding from a man who used his social and sexual network to build influence over scientists, you begin to see that what we call science was being curated, not just discovered. This is why the old star plates matter not only for the anomalies they show, but for who got to decide whether those anomalies were cataloged, archived, published, or buried. We are at a moment where the tide is changing. The plates didn't vanish because they were uninteresting. They vanished because they were problematic. The gatekeepers of academia didn't pause because someone debated ethics. They paused because someone asked, what happens if this knowledge becomes public? Mortals of Earth, keep your gaze upward and inward. Don't just wonder what lights move in the heavens. Wonder why some of the best telescopes, the sharpest plates, the most venerable institutions, allowed those plates to be removed from view, because we are nearer than ever to the edges of what we've been told is possible. That's all for now. Stay curious and have a good one.